First tonight on Our News Live at 7, government agrees. After years of advocating, the Petroleum Retailers Association reacts to finally receiving a 25-cent margin increase. And still reeling. Hear about the near miss for the family living in a generational home impacted by the now collapsed historic Reinhardt Hotel. Plus, as the drama between Valley Boy factions rages on, the JCNP calls a press conference this evening. And then in Our News at 7:30, the story of the Bahamian-made faith-based film about to hit the IMAX screens when it premieres tomorrow at Fusion Superplex. All that and more as Our News Live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Candino Knowles. Well, after years of advocating, the Petroleum Retailers Association has finally received a 25-cent margin increase. The development has prompted gas station owners to call off Wednesday's planned protest outside the House of Assembly. Prime Minister Philip Davis made the announcement Monday night, but failed to say when the increase will take effect. So what does this mean for customers? Association President Raymond Jones says consumers can expect to spend up to an additional $2.25 per week.
We look at it from the standpoint of the average spend of a customer. So if someone is spending about $20 a week on fuel, it's going to cost them an extra $1 a week. Someone that's spending about $50 a week, maybe $2.25, about a bottle of water.
But according to Jones, their data shows the price of fuel will continue to decline. As a result, he says consumers may only see on average about a 60-cent increase. Petroleum retailers last saw an increase back in 2011 under the Ingram administration. Jones says over the last 3 years, the price of gas saw more than $2 decrease. Peter Roker and Bernard Porky Dorset headed a committee to address the issue, shooting down claims of a shutdown.
We say an overwhelming thank you to the Bahamian public, who has really struggled with us.
No closing down. I hear people saying, when are you guys closing down? We are not closing down.
It's not our issue.
Because we are on the side of the consumer.
But the Free National Movement raising questions about that gas margin increase. In a press conference at F&M headquarters today, party leader Michael Pintard says they've been in contact with those retailers throughout the process. Pintard says while it's good news for them, he's questioning who ultimately will take the financial hit.
Once they realized that the marinas were also going to join petroleum dealers and be downtown, the Prime Minister, in his typical knee-jerk fashion, announced the increase. Now, what would be interesting to see if whether or not he's going to saddle all of it on the Bahamian people, or he's going to rethink his position and the government takes a cut. I believe money is better off in the hands of residents and the private sector than in the hands of the government.
In other news, the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence expected to make a statement on the ongoing Valley Boys saga that has split the group into two factions. The JCNP holding a press conference at their Norfolk House headquarters this evening, where they're expected to reveal their position on the Valley Boys matter. Members of the group haven't been seeing eye to eye for months, with the world-famous Valley Boys being led by Brian Adderley and the Way Forward Valley Boys being led by Trevor Davis. Our Joshua Williams is at JCNP's headquarters, and we'll have full details coming up during our 7:30 newscast. The once sturdy brick facade of the historic Reinhardt Hotel, a beloved hotspot from the late 1930s through the late 1960s, collapsed during the busy rush hour yesterday afternoon. The debris did more than just tumble onto Blue Hill Road, though. It crashed into the Bastian family's residence. Delvardo Emmanuel spoke with witnesses and the homeowners impacted by the devastation.
I just really given God thanks that nobody got hurt, but this isn't a good feeling. But regardless, we saw this happening a very long time ago.
The Bastian family has lived in their charming Victorian-style house for over 4 generations. On Monday, they were going about their daily lives when the catastrophic collapse occurred. Videos of the distressed Reinhardt Hotel collapsing quickly making its rounds on social media. In moments, the historic building was reduced to rubble. Christine Bastian Cunningham recalled the moments before the shocking incident.
I went to drop off some stuff and I came back, and when I got back, that's when it happened. I stood to this wall right here and I said, Keno. He said, Mom, don't come. And Jesse said, don't come. All I hear is douche, and I dash. All I see is smoke.
The visibly damaged home held decades of memory for the Bastian family.
My nephew and grandnephew still reside in the place, and they were not home at this time. And I'm thanking God that it didn't happen during the night, because if it had happened during the night, that they live on that side.
Witnesses on scene also giving their first-hand account.
For some years, we saw our building looked like it was going to collapse. So I guess it was only a matter of time when the building was going to make this big turn.
It was a life-threatening to us, even though it wasn't close. But we still ran because, a building coming down. I mean, what would you do?
According to the family, the owner of the building agreed to help them find a new place to live. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Thanks for that, Delvardo. And coming up on Our News at 7:30, we take a look at the history of the Reinhardt Hotel. It's a story you don't want to miss. But it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. A very gray day around the islands. Lots of showers and thunderstorms, courtesy of a moist and unstable air mass that's across our area, along with an upper-level trough. But that's kept temperatures at bay. 84 degrees is our current temperature right now under mostly cloudy skies. We have some showers nearby, and we even have a few rumbles of thunder. East-northeast winds at 7 miles per hour, and your feels like temperature is in the upper 80s. 89 degrees is what it feels like on the outside. Right now, it's 83 in Freeport, 82 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 84s in Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbor, Key. And here in the capital, Governor's Harbor, 85, Central Bahamas, 86 in Kemps Bay and in Deadman's Key, Georgetown, 83, Arthurstown, Cat Island, 84, and over in Cubantown, San Salvador, you guys are 85. Southeast Bahamas, 86s in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, Abrams Bay, 85, 87 in Providenciales, Tricks, and Caicos Islands, Matthewtown, Inagua, Deep South, you are the warm spot for us. 86 degrees is your current temperature right now. Satellite radar composite, that gray mess we've been talking about, courtesy of that upper level trough. You notice just a southeasterly flow of clouds in the Gulf of Mexico, and then you have this northeasterly flow across the Bahamas. That's the upper level jet, or dip in the jet stream. Upper level trough across us, destabilizing our atmosphere. Showers and thunderstorms expected to be in the forecast for the upcoming days, and we will see some of these showers. Locally heavy thunderstorms will be strong to severe at times, so there could be some chances for some severe thunderstorm warnings being issued. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, several Bahamians among the top 100 athletes in track and field, and the Caribbean Cup returns to the Bahamas. We'll tell you more in Our Sports at 7 when Our News returns.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I right you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Aliv Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Aliv Business.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, presents the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Sky Pods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Mass. Break it, scrape, explosion, reloaded.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Aliv Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the Aliv fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with Aliv Fiber.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be...
Welcome to Our News at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. The Bahamas has another opportunity to rise in the World Baseball Softball Confederation rankings when it hosts the top teams in the region. The Bahamas Baseball Association will host the 6th edition of the Senior Men's Copa Bay Caribbean Cup, October 23rd to 28th at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. In addition to the Bahamas, other participating teams will include Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Curacao, the USVI, and St. Martin. A season of milestone moments, national records, and one world record has come to an end, and we have an opportunity to see where Bahamians stack up in the World Athletics rankings. Several Bahamians were among the top 100 athletes in their respective disciplines. 60-meter hurdles world record holder Devin Charlton topped the list of Bahamians on the rankings. Fourth in the 100-meter hurdles, Charlton is also ranked number 33 overall among women across all disciplines. World Athletics created the global ranking system where athletes score points based on a combination of results and place depending on the level of the competition where those results are achieved. The rankings are then based on their average score over a certain number of competitions in a defined time period. The French Pro B League, the second tier in France, is officially underway and several Bahamians made their debut. Aaron Lavardi was the top performer in the group for ALM Evero Basket. The 6'8" forward finished with 17 points and a game-high 21 rebounds in an 85-75 loss to Foster Mare. Bahamian football player Mazio Randall made the move from the JUCO level to NCAA Division I with the Towson Tigers. The 6'5", 300-pound junior defensive lineman joined the Tigers roster, projected to finish 9th in the Colonial Athletics Association. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as Sean Diddy Combs is charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. Plus, after a recent apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, President Biden condemns political violence in America. This, as more than 1 in 20 Cubans are suffering from water supply issues. We have the details when Our News returns.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Aliv Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Aliv Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Aliv Business.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Avi, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Music mogul and rapper Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in Manhattan on Monday by federal agents. A 3-count federal indictment unsealed today alleged Combs used his fame as one of the biggest names in hip-hop to coerce women into engaging in demeaning sex acts as part of a decades-long scheme of sex trafficking and racketeering. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. The 54-year-old has faced several allegations of sexual assault. Last week, singer Dawn Richards sued Combs for sexual assault, battery, sex trafficking, gender discrimination, and fraud. Combs, however, denies the claims. In 2023, singer Cassandra Ventura sued Combs, accusing him of abuse, sexual slavery, and rape over a 10-year relationship. She settled the case in November 2023, and Combs denied the allegations. U.S. President Joe Biden commended the Secret Service for its handling of an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump over the weekend. A man suspected of attempting to assassinate the Republican presidential nominee was charged with 2 gun-related crimes in federal court on Monday, a day after being spotted with a rifle hiding in the bushes at the former U.S. president's golf course in Florida. Trump was unharmed, but the incident raised fresh questions about how an armed suspect was able to get so close to him just 2 months after another gunman fired at Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania. With the 2 recent attempts on Trump's life, Biden condemned the violence.
Let me just say, there is no, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, those of you who know me, many of you do, no place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero. Never. I've always condemned political violence. I always will in America. In America, we resolve our differences peacefully at the ballot box, not at the end of a gun. America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing and just tears the country apart. We must do everything we can to prevent it and never give it any oxygen.
Shanghai, China was brought to a standstill by what authorities say was the strongest typhoon to directly hit the Chinese financial hub in more than 7 decades, with flights, trains, and highways suspended during a national holiday. Bibinka is the 13th typhoon of the year and has been wreaking havoc in Shanghai since making landfall around 7:30 a.m. on Monday. Shanghai's meteorological observatory upgraded the yellow alert for heavy rain to an orange alert at 11 a.m. China has a 4-tier color-coded weather warning system, with red representing the most severe warning, followed by orange, yellow, and blue. Well, police on St. Kitts and Nevis are investigating a suspected shark attack that left a 9-year-old boy severely injured. In a statement, police said the boy was at Frigate Bay Beach when he was attacked. He was taken to the Joseph N. France General Hospital in a private vehicle for treatment, where medical professionals confirmed the presence of bite marks on the boy's arm. And water shortages in Cuba are increasingly flaring tempers. It comes as problems mount for hundreds of thousands of residents already ragged from shortfalls in food, fuel, and electricity. Upwards of 600,000 people, more than 1 in 20 on the Caribbean island of 10 million citizens, are suffering from water supply issues. The capital, Havana, is most affected by water shortages, though most of the country's largest cities report more than 30,000 clients without water, the government has said. Officials blame the growing problems on crumbling infrastructure and a persistent lack of fuel, symptoms of a festering economic crisis that's left the communist-run country nearly bankrupt.
We depend on water coming in. If water arrives, the tanks are filled. If it doesn't come, we can't provide water. When they cut off power, we can't give water. One thing depends on the other, and that's the game we play.
Still to come in our news, today in history. Find out interesting facts about the day that was September 17th. And then in Our News at 7:30, parents at the R.N. Gomez All-Age School say they're satisfied after meeting with the education minister. And a historian weighs in on the collapse of the historic Reinhardt Hotel. That's coming up when Our News returns.
50 years. Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Avi, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Brazos Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Aliv Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
On this day in Bahamian history, on September 17th in 1825, William Vesey Munnings became acting governor of the Bahama Islands. He served in this position until May 1827. It was his second time serving as acting governor. Fast forward to 1953, former governor and commander-in-chief of the Bahamas, Sir George Ritchie Sanford, died from a heart attack. Sanford served as governor for less than a year, from the 17th of February 1953 to the day of his death. He was the first royal governor on record to die in the Bahama Islands. He was interred at St. Matthew's Anglican Cemetery in Nassau, New Providence, Bahamas. Then, in 1955, a news article from the Pittsburgh Courier was published about the Bahamas attracting Black Americans to visit the islands. Sir Stafford Sands was the then chairman of the Bahamas Development Board, along with Bermuda-based travel company Hilton G. Hill, Inc., who pushed to get more American middle-class Black Americans to spend their vacations in the Bahamas, which was still segregated at the time. Fast forward to 2013, a tornado touched down at the Lynden Pindling International Airport. It prompted the suspension of flights. The tornado formed around 2:45 p.m. as air traffic control watched from the tower. Moments after it touched down, Chief Climatological Officer Michael Stubbs spoke to the reporters, saying he watched the tornado touch down on the runway.
Actually, a funnel cloud, which evolved into a water spout, and eventually this system enlarged for quite a few minutes, and then but less than 5 minutes it dissipated.
In 2021, Philip Davis was sworn in as the country's 5th prime minister. The private ceremony was held at the Governor General's office at 1 Montague Place. Bahamas Information Services said at the time it was the Prime Minister-elect's decision to hold a private swearing-in. Members of the press learned of the swearing nearly 3 hours after it occurred. To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia?
Thanks so much, Marlena. Well, coming up, motorists sound off on an improved gas margin increase. And Berry Island parents discuss ongoing concerns at their local school and find out about a faith-based movie set to hit local theaters. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, gas retailers to receive a 25-cent margin increase. Hear what motorists across the country have to say. Also, following the Valley Boys Junkanoo Group split, the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence holds a press conference to discuss their position on the matter. Joshua Williams is live outside their headquarters tonight. Plus, the CEO of the Freeport Container Port resigns. We have the details coming up. And later, an historian weighs in on the collapse of the Renhard Hotel on Blue Hill Road North. The story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I read you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Aliv Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Aliv Business.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Avi, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Petroleum retailers are breathing a sigh of relief tonight over a government's decision to approve gas margin increase, saying it's needed for them to keep their businesses afloat. But some residents are peeved, saying they aren't buying it. Berthany McDermott has their candid comments in this report.
I'm a pensioner. There's no increase on my pension. So that's another tax that is going to affect the basket price that I can purchase.
Sydney Sands was among the Bahamians we spoke to today, not happy about the news that gas retailers will get a 25-cent margin increase. Retailers predict this could mean up to an additional $2.25 per week for motorists.
We know that historically they haven't been making much money, but things been tight for everybody around the country, not just gas retailers.
But those here in New Providence aren't the only ones who will feel the pinch. This Exuma fisherman and Grand Bahama resident says an increase will be too much on the backs of Bahamians.
Indeed not. Look at social services. The lines at social services are endless every day. So you think we're making it, we could afford gas prices in Grand Bahama?
So they need to really reduce the price of gas and help the poor people.
Prime Minister Philip Davis made the announcement Monday night, but failed to say when the increase will take effect. Association President Raymond Jones says the increase will take effect in October. But according to Jones, their data shows the price of fuel will continue to decline. As a result, he says consumers may only see on average about a 60 cents increase. Petroleum retailers last saw an increase back in 2011 under the Ingram administration. But not everyone was against the increase.
I go with that. I mean, it'll cost me more. I can conserve and be judicious in my use of my vehicle. So I don't need to go anywhere I don't need to go. So I think consumers need to be more conscious of how they operate.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Now to a story we've been following for months, the ongoing feud between a now split Valley Boys Junkanoo group. The Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence holding a press conference this evening to discuss their position on the issue. Our Joshua Williams joins us live from their Frederick Street headquarters. Joshua, that press conference just wrapped up. What can you tell us? I know that you've been following this story. What came out of that meeting, Josh?
Good evening, Natalia. Well, yes, I'm here outside of the Norfolk House on Frederick Street, where that press conference with the JCNP would have just wrapped up. And the corporation is once again doubling down on its position. The world-famous Valley Boys, under the leadership of Brian Adderley, will rush on Bay Street in the A category. Now, for those of you who are not sure as to how we got to this point, a faction would have broken off from the Valley Boys in May, led by Trevor Davis. Obviously, now the JCNP is standing firm with its decision. Joining me now is Frontline Director John Williams. John, describe to me what is the feeling you're having right now as this issue has been seemingly put to rest.
Like our fans and our members, we are so happy and excited that this whole ordeal and distraction has been suspended. With that being said, we remain focused on what it takes to get a group to Bay Street. So our shacks are open. We are in our shacks, building our costumes, building backline, building dancers, our banners, and just preparing for the parade in every aspect that we should.
And very quickly, what do you say to members who may have left, but as Junkanoo season approaches, they now want to come back?
Well, I would say that no door is ever really closed. But just as there is a process to join a Junkanoo group and the Valley Boys, there is a process to rejoin the Valley Boys. And we are open to going through that process with anybody.
And, you know, a lot of people have been disappointed in this whole process, saying it's bad for Junkanoo. Is this a bad look to your group?
It has been bad for Junkanoo overall because it is our culture, it's an expression, and we never want to see anything displayed this way, especially in the light that it was. But we are happy that it has been suspended now, and we can focus on our culture, which is the #1 expression in the world.
Finally, we're just about 3 months away from Bay Street. What are we expecting from the Valley Boys come Junkanoo season?
You're going to experience what the Valley Boys is, what we always have been, and that is a world-famous group with world-famous performances, world-famous costumes, world-famous music. Nothing is going to change. As a matter of fact, there are going to be persons who would have produced costumes, produced music, produced dance that have never done it before. And so it's the next man up. And so we're looking forward to putting on a spectacular show.
Thank you so much, John. And the JCNP chairman, Dion Miller, saying that this is the last time that they will comment publicly on this issue. Back to you, Italia.
All right, thanks so much for that detailed interview, Josh. That's our Joshua Williams reporting live tonight. Well, in a leaked email from the Freeport Container Port and Freeport Harbor Company on Grand Bahama, it confirms the CEO of the mega transshipment hub, Alan Dixon, has resigned effective immediately. The email from the Human Resources Department thanks the former CEO for his contributions over the past 3.5 years. Now the move comes following 2 letters by the staff of the Freeport Container Port that went viral on WhatsApp sometime last month. In those letters addressed to shareholders of FCP, stakeholders, management, and government, it accuses the former CEO and others of taking part in fraud and misconduct relating to Hutchison Port's Bahamas business unit. Some of the concerns raised in that letter is the CEO's travel expenses, nepotism, wrongful termination of some employees, mistreatment of Bahamians, the violation of expense policies, and the lobbying of government officials. Now, Our News understands a formal investigation was launched following the letters and shortly before the CEO's resignation. We reached out to executives of the Freeport Container Port for further comment, but received no response. Up to news time. Well, a man who molested his stepdaughter in the marital bedroom has lost his appeal. The man, whose name has been withheld to conceal the victim's identity, was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment for unlawful sexual intercourse with a dependent. Jurors found that on May 5, 2018, the then 50-year-old raped his 9-year-old stepdaughter. Public defender Brenda Lee Ray challenged the conviction on the basis that the same jury acquitted the man of 3 other molestation allegations. The Court of Appeal upheld the conviction, saying that the trial outcome showed that the jurors considered each count separately as directed by the trial judge. The end of an era is how a top official is describing the collapse of the historic Reinhardt Hotel that was reduced to rubble on Monday. The incident has some reflecting on the history of the building that once occupied the corner of Blue Hill Road and Tin Shop Corner. It was initially designed and constructed by Dr. Claudius Roland Walker and Mrs. Mabel Walker. In the 1930s, the hotel provided the stage for everything from social soirees to local business operations to pivotal moments in Bahamian political history. Acting Director of the Antiquities, Monuments and Museum Corporation, Don Corner, says the history of the building is rich.
This hotel was built in the 1930s, and it was really built in response to some of the challenges that non-whites had with accommodations on Bay Street. So this was the first opportunity for persons to come over the hill and to enjoy decent accommodations in a hotel. So losing a building like that obviously has significant impact on the way that we see our history in general.
Other businesses that operated on the premises included a hardware store, a restaurant, a pharmacy, and the Voice newspaper. The paramount year in the hotel's history was in 1967, when the space served as headquarters to the Progressive Liberal Party during the landmark election that led to majority rule.
It was also a social site. You would note that the PLP women used to meet there on a regular basis, between there and the Silver Slippers, which used to be on East Street. And so over time, that building had a very significant place. We know the role of C.R. Walker, the late C.R. Walker, and the owner of the building in his political life. But it also hosted a PLP convention in the late 60s. And so it was a significant location for a lot of the activities that led to what is now the modern Bahamas.
Well, a number of concerns at the R.N. Gomez all-age school in the Berry Islands being addressed by education ministry officials. Reaching out to Our News, parents were concerned about poor infrastructure, limited resources, and a lack of communication between school leadership and parents. As a result, a meeting was called for school officials, parents, and a delegation led by Education Minister Gladys Hannah Martin at the school yesterday evening. Parent Teachers Association President Joyanne Mott says she's now satisfied following the meeting, adding they're hoping to see changes soon.
It needs a lot of fixing, and the administration just keep cutting up the classes and making little small classes, and we the parents cause it cubby holes. Even with dealing with administration, sending down some persons to train us, where we can have the communication that is lacking between administration, PTA, and school board.
Along with Hannah Martin was Education Director Dominique McCartney Russell and a number of other officials. The minister says they will continue to travel to a number of islands to assess those schools that don't receive as much attention as those in New Providence or Grand Bahama. She's hoping R.N. Gomez sets the example for other small island schools.
This is important because we have to ensure that it is clear that every school and every community is valued and will not be forgotten. Resources are not infinite, but we will do all that we can to address the concerns as we meet them. Infrastructural and staffing concerns are on the forefront of our agenda, along with curriculum reform and student and staff well-being. And we invite all communities to join with us as we seek to put our best foot forward for the young people of this nation.
All right, well, wild weather in the capital on this Tuesday, and it appears as if we will see more rain this week. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 84 degrees is our current temperature under mostly cloudy skies. With east-northeast wind at 7 miles per hour, it feels like temperature is hanging out in the upper 80s. Satellite radar composite, dip in the jet stream, upper level trough dipping across the northwest Bahamas, along with some very moist and unstable air mass, creating some unsettled weather pattern across our area. We will continue to see this trend over the next couple of days as this upper level trough and the moisture will remain in place before it actually exits the area. Believe it or not, this moisture plume is associated with the trailing portions of what was potential tropical cyclone 8, which has now moved inland in the United States of America. We'll show that later on in the extended forecast. That's a quick check on conditions. A look at the tropics is still to come.
When Our News comes back from the break, a grand celebration. Don Saunders Jr., the son of former Deputy House Speaker, the late Don Saunders, selected as the new head boy of St. John's College. And later, it's a movie about tragedy, hope, and healing. Our Danielle Miller tells us about the award-nominated film Look Up Child when Our News returns. Stay with us.
What you doing here?
I dig in the well to connect to the house of building for me and Mavis.
Why you just don't call water and sewage?
Call them for what?
To get your city water. You don't have to worry about your water cutting off when the power cut off. And your water's clean and safe, free from coliform bacteria.
Cauliflower what?
Call us at 302-5500 to make the switch from well water to city water for a more fresh, reliable water supply for you and your family.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E.
I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as an environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and the world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there's anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
It's a story about overcoming obstacles and taking a tragic situation and making it a good one. Less than a year after his dad was murdered, Don Saunders Jr., marking a major milestone in his life, our Sasha Lightborn has more.
That was the moment Don Saunders Jr. was officially announced as the head boy of St. John's College for the new academic year. You may recall Don's father, Donald Saunders, former Deputy House Speaker and Deputy Chairman for the Free National Movement, was killed back in March. From then to now, Don Jr. has seen much success. An avid swimmer, this year Don competed in the Carifta Games, Bahamas Swimming Nationals, and was named one of the captains for this year's Goodwill Games team.
It's an honor to be at the head of my school, so I feel great. I want to lead our school into the best year they've ever had.
Don Jr. also shared with me how he's overcome so much since his father passed.
It's really been hard, but I'd like to say because of my support team, my family, the country as a whole, I've been able to get to where I am today.
And as for his plans in his new role,
in my head boy role, I wish to achieve a better connection with the administration and the student body to voice their concerns, to see some changes around the school that we all want to see. I wish to be a role model for all my students to follow and to represent my school nationally to the best of my abilities.
I also had the opportunity to speak with the school's new principal, Quinn McCartney, who shared a little about the selection process.
Everybody would have looked at all of the panelists for both the primary and the secondary department, looked at all the candidates, looked at their portfolios, had an interview with them. They had an opportunity to ask them questions. And so I think the best persons came to the top.
Now Zion Roll was selected as the school's head girl. We'll share her story later this week. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When Our News comes back from the break, it's a movie about tragedy, hope, and healing. Our Daniel Miller tells us about the award-nominated film when Our News continues.
Coming up in sports, international baseball returns to the Bahamas next month. We take a look at the final World Athletics rankings, and football player Mazio Randall goes D1.
Plus, wet weather conditions in the capital on this Tuesday. Greg is back with their extended weather forecast when Our News returns.
Different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Aliv Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Aliv Business.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, presents the best of the best. Raking Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Delayed but not denied, the Acklands Regatta finally set sail. 9 C-Class and E-Class sloops were in action over the weekend, despite some less than favorable sailing conditions at the Montague foreshore. In Class C, first place went to King and Knights, second place was Whisper, and the Barbarian placed third. In the E-Class, the Baintown Woman was first, Ninja was second, and Hunter finished third. The regatta was originally scheduled for August, but was postponed due to inclement weather. Regatta Commodore Denrick Miller said the sailors were pleased to finally get the event underway.
Oh yeah, we were going to try to get these races done, because we were unable to sail in Auckland due to some bad weather. So we're going to have a good time on here today.
A pair of Bahamian stars in the Big Apple showed their support for each other with a unique jersey swap that went viral. Jonquil Jones of the New York Liberty and Jazz Chisholm of the New York Yankees wore each other's jersey for their pre-game entrances ahead of their respective matchups Sunday afternoon. Both teams had pivotal games in their late-season playoff races, but different results. Chisholm and the Yankees continued to pad their lead in the American League East with a 5-2 win over the Boston Red Sox at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. He finished 1 for 4 with a single in the second inning and eventually scored the Yankees' first run on his Giancarlo Stanton double. Chisholm also stole his 36th base of the season. The Yankees improved to 87 and 63, 3 games ahead of the Baltimore Orioles. Over in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center, Jones and the Liberty couldn't overcome an uncharacteristically slow start in an 88-79 loss to the Minnesota Lynx. Jones finished with 9 points, 5 rebounds, and a blocked shot. She recorded her 500th defensive rebound with the Liberty, becoming the second fastest player in franchise history to reach 500 defensive rebounds and 150 offensive rebounds with the club. The Liberty were unable to clinch the top overall seed for the WNBA playoffs, but still topped the standings at 31-7. Travis Munnings and Franco Miller continued to play for their teams in the Spanish Cup. Great individual game from both players, but their teams came up just short. In Group Stage G, Munnings and Fuenlabrada lost 84-76 to Movistar Students. Munnings scored a team-high 17 points and grabbed 5 rebounds. He shot 6 for 15 from the field. In Group Stage E, Miller and Palma lost 81-74 to Castellos. He finished with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and a game-high 5 assists. The inaugural Spanish Cup was created as a second-tier level cup competition for teams from the Primera FEB and Segunda FEB, the second and third tier in Spain. 40 teams from each league are competing in the first stage and will be divided into 8 groups of 4 teams. Each team will play 5 match days, 3 in September, 1 in October, and the other in November. The 8 best ranked teams in each group will advance to the quarterfinals with a home and away series in December. The 4 winners then move on to the final 4 in January. Chris Brown's stock continues to rise for the class of 2027. This Chris Brown is not the singer or the quarter miler. This one's the 6'10 basketball prodigy you're going to hear a lot about over the next few years. College and high school sports publication On3.com ranked Brown at number 36 in his class following an impressive summer on the AAU circuit. Brown, a 6'10 center out of Dream City Christian in Arizona, was also previously ranked number 13 among centers by ESPN. On the AAU circuit, he played with Gulf Coast Blue Chips, where the team finished 7-0 in Atlanta, Georgia for the Under Armour Association Session 3. They also won the Adidas Three Stripes Select Basketball Tournament in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. We should start doing media swaps like Jazz and JJ did. I'm not wearing anyone's suit, though. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight is a movie about tragedy, hope, and healing. Hart Daniel Miller tells us about the award-nominated film Look Up Child. Plus, Greg is back with their extended weather forecast when Our News returns. Stay with us.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need you 25 cents no more.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Aliv Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Aliv Business.
This is our news. Welcome back. We are still tracking one system in the tropics. Most of the systems that were affecting the Atlantic and the hurricane basin has now been dissipated. The only thing out there is the remnants of Gordon, which is still disorganized. It's giving about a 0% chance for formation over the next several days. That system will remain disorganized over the next several days. It's going to be lifting towards the north. There is that frontal boundary across the central portions of the Atlantic that this system should merge with and eventually quickly dissipate and move towards northeast and away from us. Across the area, we do have that upper level trough with a lot of moisture in place, generating some unsettled weather conditions across the area. And that upper level trough actually is pulling a lot of moisture that's associated with what was potential tropical cyclone 8, which has moved inland across the eastern portion of the United States. But this pattern will remain in place with us for the next several days. So we're looking at very unsettled weather across the area, showers and thunderstorms. Some of those showers will be locally heavy. Thunderstorms will be strong to severe at times. Future forecast showing the moisture in place. That's going to continue through our area through Wednesday. And then we have another batch coming through on Wednesday evening into Thursday. And as I mentioned, this pattern will remain with us for most of the week. So look for some showers and thunderstorms. Boating forecast. Northwest and central Bahamas. Caution flags still in place for the Atlantic exposures due to some lingering swells. East to southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 3 feet near shore, but up to 5 feet in some northeasterly swells along Atlantic exposures. High tide is at 7:59 tonight. The low tide takes place at 2:18 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flag for you guys down there as well, but the winds coming down a bit. East to southeast winds 15 knots, seas running 3 to 5 feet in some northeasterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, as I mentioned, the moisture will stay with us. Showers and thunderstorms will continue through the remainder of the week. Temperatures will be rather comfortable. They're going to stay into the 80s. And of course, that heat in the sea or the heat advisory that we've been having for the last couple of days, that's going to be discontinued. But we expect that to be back in place by early next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, a Bahamian-made film is about to hit the IMAX screens. The creative force behind the project is a group of young Bahamians who had a very special story to tell. Our Daniel Miller spoke with the filmmakers about what inspired the movie.
Based on real-life events, award-nominated film Look Up Child tells the story of the trauma people can face post-tragedy while spreading a message of hope in the midst of healing mental wounds.
The story is based around a mother and daughter's fractured relationship after experiencing the devastation of a hurricane. And so basically it's a story of how can you be reconciled in the midst of such tragedy?
Leonardo Newman, founder and CEO of Why Christ Media Group, says it's risky to create a film that discusses such sensitive life events. But he insists telling these stories are crucial to bringing awareness of the internal battles many Bahamians struggle.
Because it was originally written in 2020, so it was a time when the Bahamas had just dealt with Dorian, and then COVID immediately hit. And you had a lot of persons on the internet, oh, why would God allow these things to happen and stuff like that. And really, it was just written from the perspective of, in the midst of any kind of devastation, what is our response to people? What we answer or give some thoughts around the idea of why God allows these things to happen.
The film will premiere at Fusion Superplex on September 18th. This groundbreaking event will feature a red carpet experience, cast meet and greet, and a Q&A session following the screening.
The showtime is actually 7:45. And so, but there's a cocktail reception for the platinum guests that starts at 6:30, and then we have a showtime. The event is actually going to be hosted by Dasquay, and so it's going to be a great night. Red carpet, all the things, semi-formal dress. So, you know, we're really trying to make this a big deal.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Denny. Of course, you see that story again. It's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.